Arsenal have made it into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And instead of the media congratulating them, instead of a well done under bated breath, a little bit of banter, the hate is in full flow. It's like the beers are Oktoberfest. It is actually beautiful to sit back as an outsider and just watch it. Just watch people that consistently state they have no emotion and no feeling towards Arsenal absolutely break down. There is a crazy amount of safe prophecy bragging going on here, which, I mean, starting to happen too much in the content creator space anyway. And I'll repeat those words again. Safe prophecy bragging going on. People pretending to be geniuses. Lies are being told in the media. And every Arsenal fan worth his salt will tell you they're the underdogs and not the favourites to win in the next round. So my question is, why the Arsenal Champions League hate? They're not a threat. They can't win it. You're not emotionally involved in the club. You don't see them as a rival. They can't be a rival because they don't win. Madrid are going to knock them out. They've had an easy run. That all being said, why the hate-alongs? Why the reaction? Why the safe prophecy bragging? Why is that all going on? Hit the like and the share button. Make sure you're subscribing. I want to get your opinions on this. And a disclaimer at the beginning. If you're a rival fan who isn't doing any of that, join in with me and laugh at the ones who are. That's the point of what we're talking about here. First up, let's take a little listen here to what Simon Jordan had to say after the game. Let's take a listen.
I mean, because it's Real Madrid, irrespective of what Real Madrid it is, there will always be this image of they can't be beaten in Europe. They find a way, as they did last night. So it's a very tough task. And if Arsenal can achieve it, if Arsenal can beat, I mean, if they're going to win, I suppose if you're going to win the Champions League, you have to play the best sides at some point during it. For Arsenal, it's unfortunate they get some of the draws that they've got. And obviously, they've just had a relatively easy passage.
Relatively easy passage. Simon Jordan isn't the only mainstream media pundit to say this, but the revisionism is crazy. If you look at Arsenal's Champions League fixtures, they were predicted to not finish inside the top 8 to begin with. They came in the top 4. But they have played, I'm going to go through these names here just so we can all remember this. They played Atalanta away, tough game. Paris Saint-Germain at home. They've played Inter Milan away, Sporting Lisbon away, Girona away, and then they've had PSV Eindhoven, who, by the way, beat Liverpool, who had a very good campaign up until that point, and now they play Real Madrid. Is it the hardest passage? Have they had all the hardest games? No. But they've played Inter Milan, Atalanta, Paris Saint-Germain, Sporting Lisbon, PSV, Girona away. The idea that Arsenal have had this easy passage is terrible punditry. It's that type of terrible punditry that led too many people to believe that PSG would be a walk in the park for Liverpool. You clearly hadn't watched PSG for large parts of this season, and it goes on too much. It goes on too much, in my opinion, where people don't really know what they're talking about, and they make these outlandish claims. And I get rivals doing it. You've played no one, you've played no one. But again, for the professional media to be going out there and claiming Arsenal have played no one to get to the quarterfinals is simply and utterly an outright lie. Now, also on TalkSport, big up here to Deluded Guna. But it's even little digs like this last night. Arsenal just scored 9 goals over 2 legs in a round of 16. By the way, the TalkSport, The Guardian, Sky Sports were referring to as the round of Arsenal up until the PSV game. Take a little listen.
Zinchenko assist is one of them where you're going to get the assist, but it's all on Zinny.
No, he did well on the right.
Nah, he's
come on.
Come on, Sam. He's passed him the ball.
Why are you such a hater?
Me a hater? You was crying about people celebrating.
His celebration was a disgrace. He should be docked 2 weeks' wages. Honestly,
you're giving Roy Keane a...
First of all, when I heard him say this earlier on today, I was listening to the show. And he said that Zinchenko, for not celebrating his goal, should be docked 2 weeks' wages. And I know a lot of people have a problem. He was only there on loan, only played about 600 minutes. But football players in the modern day game are far more respectful, typically speaking, to their ex-clubs than they used to be. First, I thought he was joking. But look at the vim and the venom in this host of TalkSport.
If you're that upset, don't refuse to play then. Don't.
Refuse to play. No, you can be professional and try and win a game for your team, but be respectful to a club that you feel has helped you in your career. It's quite normal to respect previous employees. It's quite normal to respect previous bosses that have helped you in your life.
Score and then apologise. It's like Andy Brassel coming on here and out of respect for another media organisation he works for, it's probably a bad...
Not what?
A comparison. It's just rubbish.
It's a bad comparison because, no, this is why it's a bad comparison, right? It's the equivalent of my boss nurturing me, training me, getting me to a certain level, and then I go off to work for another company because that's the way the world works. But then me and my ex-boss, 3 years down the line, we're both competing for a job. We're competing to win some business. And I win that business over my boss. The disrespectful thing to do would be to phone up my boss and gloat and celebrate. The respectful thing to do would be make a phone call, say, look, commiserations, let's go out for a drink, let's go out for some dinner. If I need any help or support with this project, I'll get you involved. That's how professional, respectful people operate. I'm not saying that has to be there in football, but the only reason this man is angry is because the last 2 Champions League games, he's not been able to slag Arsenal off. That is all it's about. And again, I've been defending Liverpool for the last couple of weeks with this nonsense in the mainstream media that they're only top because they're lucky, City fell off, Arsenal haven't been as good. It's massively disrespectful. It takes away from their brilliance this season. Equally, this type of drivel, this should be left for Twitter spaces and weird little TikTokers. This shouldn't be in the mainstream media, in my personal opinion. Now, as I've said earlier, there has been a fair amount of what I would call hate flying around, which is understandable at this point. Big Liverpool account here says, my hate for Arsenal going up against my hate for an entire institution. Basically saying he doesn't know who to hate more and who he wants to win in the next round, this big Liverpool fan. Another Liverpool supporter here says, as much as we all hate Madrid's black magic, them winning the tie with the most corrupt and controversial decision ever would lead to the greatest head loss and hate watch of all time. And I just want to say, every single rival has the right to hate watch and want their rivals to lose. Every single rival has absolutely every right, and I'm not saying they shouldn't, laugh and banter and play down their rival teams. I agree with you. What I am calling out here, just for you people at the back that don't understand or want to pretend you haven't heard, is the individuals that will say, Arsenal matter not to me, Arsenal are not my rivals, Arsenal are no threat, Arsenal were bottlers, Arsenal were a bum club. They say all of that, and yet they tweet this type of thing. That's what I find absolutely staggering. It's just the exposure. Every time Arsenal do something well, you see the jealousy, the frustration, the hatred bubble to the top. But they do that whole, I'm not angry though. I'm not angry. They don't mean anything to me. Just admit they're your rivals. You're going to give yourself a hernia, an aneurysm, a heart attack. You're going to make yourself depressed. Stop. Honestly, depression is when you keep anger and hate inside. Stop hiding it and let it out and be honest. This is a safe place. You could admit you don't like Arsenal. And if you just admit it, people like me are stop reacting to you pretending you don't hate them. You should get it done. Now, aside from the hate and everything else that's going around, there's something that's been getting on my nerves for a long time, and I want to speak about it here. And it was called, but I understood what was going on. And it's this sort of, the social media world has become, I love it, by the way. I love what I do for a living. But a lot of people have been making very safe, very easy predictions. But then flexing when it happens, like they have said something profound, something amazing, groundbreaking, never been heard before. When in fact, what they're doing, they're making a prediction like stocks will fluctuate. Imagine now you go to see a stockbroker and you say, right, what's your prediction for this stock in the future? Essentially, you want to know, is it going to bomb or is it going to make you money? Imagine the prediction was, I think it's going to fluctuate up and down. That's highly likely. That doesn't show your expertise, doesn't show your knowledge, doesn't show that you've thought about this, doesn't mean you haven't found the smoking gun answer. It's like stating, I think some politicians at some point have been or will be corrupt. You're not a fortune teller. You're not smart. It's called a safe prophecy brag. You make a safe prediction, a safe bet, because it's the most likely. So, and I'll bring this round to this next game. We all know Real Madrid are the favourites. We all know Real Madrid should go through. We all know that Arsenal are the underdogs. Yet people will make a prediction now. I guarantee you Arsenal ain't going through. I know it ain't going to happen. If they get it wrong, they'll just say, yeah, well, they'll go out in the next round anyway. They won't address it. But the reason they're making the prediction and they're making it sound like 100% it's a guarantee is because they know it's the most likely outcome. And then if it happens, they'll say, told you I was a genius. And this is happening more and more in this space. And I think it's bad because it kills football conversations. It stops the nuances then lost. And I think that's what made fan content stand out from the mainstream media, is that it was nuanced, there was challenge, we would listen to each other. And it's all become about this safe prophecy bragging. I'm going to make a safe bet, and then I can tell everyone how amazing I am when that comes off. You're betting on... You're almost betting on the sun to rise, you know? Or the earlier example, my bet is the stock over the course of the next 5 years will go up and down. Highly likely with most stocks ever. You're not Nostradamus. You're not Mystic Meg. It's ridiculous. And a lot of that is going on. Arsenal are not the favourites. But there is a chance that they go through. The Arsenal fans saying they have a chance to win this game are not disrespecting Real Madrid. They are not slagging Real Madrid off. They are not disregarding them. Any Arsenal fan that says we're going to smoke them, it's going to be easy, again, they're being idiots. I think they're doing the reverse to the safe... They are doing a safe prophecy bet. They're almost... But in reverse. They're saying something they know is very unlikely to happen, so that when it doesn't, they get clipped up and they get retweeted. They don't mean it. They don't mean it. And it's just... For me, it's the area of this industry that I really dislike. I don't know about you, but let me know in the comments section below. But what was said here by Thierry Henry last night is the best bit of punditry, the best bit of commentary I've heard surrounding Arsenal in the next game.
How
should Arsenal approach this game against Real Madrid?
No, believe that you can. Look, I've been in that situation with a team that had a tiny bit less talent. I will be honest with you. When we drew Real Madrid, everyone laughed at the draw, especially in Spain also. If you go there not believing that you can beat Real Madrid and already they are better than you, they have a better team, better squad. They have 15 on the sleeve. We have none. You might as well don't go and play if you don't think that you can beat them. This is what I said the other day. You need to have the belief that you can beat that team.
Absolutely. There needs to be a belief that you can beat them, but not an arrogance that they're not going to be a problem. So it isn't showing chest to say Madrid are no problem, we're going to batter them, we're going to play them off the park, they're nothing. That isn't chest, that's ridiculous stupidity. Equally, we can't win, there's no point going. If that's your attitude, don't watch. If that's your attitude, if Arsenal players have that attitude, the manager has that attitude, they shouldn't go. They have to believe. You as fans have to help them believe that they can win. Not that they will, but that they can. And what I also think is funny is this. I'm not the banter police, although people accuse me of that. But I will say that a lot of the banter surrounding this is shit. And I'll tell you as to why. I know it's because some of you need to touch grass, potentially touch a boobie, do something. But the banter's terrible around this because the same people in one breath that are making these safe prophecies that there's no way Arsenal go through, they're getting smoked, they're going out, it's Madrid, they're too good, will be the same people that if Arsenal go through will say, yeah, but Carlo's past his best. They've not been particularly great this year, Real Madrid. They haven't been at the peak of their powers. They've looked dodgy in a lot of games. Arsenal played a poor Real Madrid. So let me repeat that again. The same people today, especially the Arsenal fans who hate Arteta, the ones that are predicting a smoking for Arsenal, or at the very least predicting there's no way Arsenal go through. They're doing the safe prophecy bet so they can have a safe prophecy brag at the end. They'll be the same individuals if Arsenal go through, by and large, will state, but it isn't a very good Real Madrid team. So they'll speak out of both sides of their mouths on this. There's no matter what. Madrid are the favourites. Fact. Arsenal are the underdogs. Fact. Madrid should go through based on quality, squad depth, availability of players, experience, the home leg for them being the second leg tie at the Santiago Bernabeu. So they've got it all in their favour. But this idea that it's impossible for Arsenal, I just think it's terrible punditry from the mainstream media. And it just shuts down conversation amongst fans. And I feel like all of us in this space, whether you're a TikToker, a YouTuber, whether you're new or old to this space, we started it to have conversations. And I feel the way we're starting to talk about this stuff shuts down the discourse. And for me, that's problematic. I don't like it. I'd love to get your views. I'd love to get your opinions on this below. Please hit the like and the share button. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you all again soon. Peace.